Hi everyone, my name is Brenneth and welcome to today's video. So today we're going to be talking all things financial aid, everything you have to know and should know when you're going off to college or if you're already in college and you just need more money. So today I won't be focusing on loans because I plan to do another video just on loans for this financial aid series. So make sure to click that notification bell so you can keep up with my videos. So if you're new to the game, make sure to learn about FAFSA. FAFSA is the application that every college student fills out, or high school student when you're senior, but you pretty much just fill it out with all your information, your taxes, your parents' taxes, everything you own, everything they own, and then from there the government decides how much you're eligible for based on your expected family contribution, EFC. And then that university looks at your EFC and then says, well, we can give this student this much money and that student that much money. So make sure to apply for FAFSA in October. The application window opens, so make sure to do that and not wait till last minute in March. So if I keep looking down, it's because I have everything on my notebook and I wrote down everything I knew, and boy did I know a lot, and I want to make sure to share all the details with you, so please ignore me not looking at you. So I would say the best type of financial aid is, of course, free money. Free money like scholarships. Scholarships are a great way to get financial aid, but so many students don't take advantage because they don't want to do the work. Scholarships do require a bit of work because there is usually the application, an essay prompt or project type of thing, and also a recommendation letter. And if you didn't network in high school, this is one of the most stressful parts because you do have to ask your teachers for recommendations. But of course, as students, teachers expect students to ask for these type of favors. So I'm sure one of the 7 or 6 teachers you have throughout the day will write a recommendation for you. Just make sure to ask nicely. A recommendation can go a long way. And guess what? Scholarships range from $50, $100, $500 to full rides. Full rides are of course the more difficult ones to get because they usually do require high testing scores and very excellent GPAs, but you never know. There might be a full ride athletic scholarship that you should apply to. Okay, so scholarships, there are so many scholarships to apply to, and usually you will apply to many before you get accepted to one. I know many students get discouraged. I certainly did when I would receive that typical rejection letter saying, I regret to inform you that due to the high demand of this scholarship program or the high volume of applicants this year, we are unable to accept you as a scholar for our program. And blah, 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 blah. You know that phrase. And it's annoying because you put in all this work into the scholarship application and you're like, oh man, I stayed up till 12 that night and did my best on the essay and I didn't get it, and then you get discouraged and want to give up. And I felt it. I know what it feels like, and my biggest tip is don't give up. Yes, if you need to, take a few days off just to get over that feeling, and especially the first few times, because let me tell you, you will get rejected more than you get accepted. It's just facts. Unless you're an excellent student that gets accepted to all the scholarships, you will probably get rejected more than once. There's thousands, millions of scholarships out there. You just have to be willing to look for them and ask counselors. Counselors know about so many scholarships. They're pretty much always posting about it, posting on their little pin boards in their office, but the students don't care to go into their office, so that's why they don't see them. So just ask, email them, do something to try to find a scholarship for yourself. Something I wish I knew while looking for ways to pay for college, while applying for college. Nobody tells you this, but if you have a good chance of going into university, you should apply for the scholarships that they offer. The thing is that if you're a senior and you're going to be a freshman the following fall, then the scholarship deadlines are pretty much over by the time you get to school. So you have to wait until the next year to apply. So my tip is to apply for scholarships, even if you don't know if you got into that university, but just go look to the scholarship website and apply to the ones you think you're eligible for. And there's many, I bet there's many. And just apply, and then by the time you get your acceptance letter to that university, you'll probably get accepted with a scholarship. I didn't do it because I didn't know that there were scholarships that we could apply as not even accepted students, as possible students. So that's why I didn't apply to those scholarships that had deadlines in spring. I did apply to the ones that were due around November, October, towards the end of the first semester of freshman year. So I recommend, if you think you're gonna get accepted, even if you don't think you're gonna get accepted, because let me tell you, I did not think I was gonna get into USC. Like, I wasn't 100% certain. I was uncertain. I was like, that's a dream school. If I get in, I get in. That'll be great. So that's why I didn't really look into scholarships, because I was like, why am I gonna put in the time if I probably won't get in? But that's the wrong way to think about it. So make sure to apply. It doesn't hurt to apply. I know it's a lot of work, but what if you get a full ride? You never know. Let me tell you, scholarships aren't just coming from universities or the government. They come from foundations, from committees, for any type of group that comes together and raises funds. Sometimes they just give out scholarships and you just have to be able to find them. I know I got a women's leadership scholarship from this foundation I didn't even know about, this women's support foundation that my counselor let me know about in my senior year, and thankfully from there I got $3,000 for college. And it's all just about looking in the right places. And if you want to do this whole scholarship journey online, I would recommend FastWeb. It is not the best website, like the design overall, but from there you do get a list of all the names of scholarships available. And what I do is I find the name and then I copy and paste that into a new tab and then go to the official website. And then from there I get all the right information and fill out the application. FastWeb is resourceful. It does provide a good amount of scholarship opportunities. And also internships. They also list internships and jobs on there. And something many students don't think about is that scholarships aren't entirely based on merit, on academic scores, or SAT or anything like that. You can get scholarships based on nationality, ethnicity, life experience, majors. If you're a woman, apply for a scholarship for just women. If you're a woman and you're going to major in science, apply for a specific scholarship on that. They're very specific scholarships nowadays. There's scholarships for people with disabilities, there's scholarship for international students, there's scholarship for students that have experienced any type of crime, hate crime. There's those type of scholarships. There's scholarships for religion. There's scholarships for your local religious groups, your churches, your temples. Just look for them. My tip is, and I did this, is I wrote a list of characteristics that describe me as like a demographic profile. Pretty much I wrote, I'm a woman, I'm religious, I am going to major in science, I come from a low-income family, I am first gen, and so on and so on. And then from there I look at scholarships and base it on my specific characteristics. There are so many scholarships that are entirely focused to a specific group of individuals that is usually from minority groups or anything that makes you different. So make sure to search it up. I'm sure you're gonna find something on the internet. And like I said, there are income-based scholarships. So if you are struggling, if your family can't support you at all to go to college, there are scholarships for you out there. Don't give up, just look, search, you'll find it. I know I did. Now we move on to grants. Grants are also a great way of getting money because guess what? They're free money, free financial aid. You just have to be eligible for it. And a lot of grants do come from the FAFSA application, whether it's the Pell Grants, which comes from the government, or the state grants, which comes from the state. For instance, in California, I'm eligible for the Pell Grant along with the Cal Grant. And there's Cal Grant A, Cal Grant B, and so on. So it really varies from state to state, but pretty much they all offer the same opportunities. I'll make sure to provide the link down below for FAFSA and for a description of all the different type of grants out there. And remember to like and subscribe so I can create more videos to give you more info like this. So now to describing all the different types of grants. First of all, the federal Pell Grant, which most people know about because it's the most popular one. And this grant is for undergrads usually that don't have a bachelor's degree and don't have a professional degree, so it's for them to go to undergrad. Then there is also the FSEOG, which is the Federal Supplemental Educational Opportunity Grant, and that's also from the government, but it's administered through the financial aid office at your university. And in researching for this video, I did find out about other grants such as the Iraq and Afghanistan Service Grant, which is, it goes to students who had parents in the U.S. Armed Forces that unfortunately died due to service in Iraq or Afghanistan after 9/11, and these individuals receive a specific type of grant. There's also the TEACH grant, which is the Teacher Education Assistance for College or Higher Education grant. And this, obviously, you do have to be in pursuit of a career in teaching, and you do have to take specific classes and be certified or be verified that you are taking and keeping up with your educational pursuit for teaching. So if you're planning to be a teacher, make sure to check out this grant because you will be teaching the future of America and you might as well receive extra aid for it. Now for work study. Work study is a great opportunity. It is a job, but the government does provide a certain amount of funding so that your university or your employer can keep your job position available for you. And it actually does create more opportunities for you as a student to find jobs on campus. They are usually part-time jobs on campus, and it does vary from year to year. For instance, this year is the first year I won't be eligible for work study because I will be living with my parents. So it does, every year does change depending on your circumstance and your situation. And if you do have work study, please make sure to take advantage of it because even if it is a job, there are many benefits because your employer does know that you are a student and they will be willing to put your education first. So if you have finals or you have to study or you can't work certain days because you have more priorities for your classes, they will totally understand and will give you the day off. So make sure to use it. After all, it is a job, so you determine what that money goes into, whether it's just for personal use or to cover your education costs. Now let's talk about federal student loans. They are really good because they do provide a fixed interest on your loan, and undergrads are eligible for either unsubsidized loans or subsidized loans. And if you want to learn more about the loan process and the different types of loan opportunities, make sure to check out my next video where I'll be just talking about loans, private loans, federal loans, university-based loans, everything. So make sure to click the notification bell and you'll see that video next week. So students that are considered independent can take out as much as $51,500 in loans, and students that are dependent, which is students that do depend on their parents still or on anyone else, whether it's a significant other or spouse or something like that, you are eligible for up to $31,000 in loan. And not to talk about opportunities that aren't necessarily financial aid, but they are great opportunities to save money during college. And one is to become a residential advisor or an RA. And in exchange, it is a job. You do take care of the residential area. For instance, at my school, it's called your residential college. And there's a certain amount of RAs per floor of the building, and they make sure to be available 24/7 for any emergency. And they do have to train pretty much residents in proper emergency protocols and put on events, but in exchange you do receive free housing. And housing, let me tell you, is super expensive, especially if you apply late and you have the last pick in housing. Usually the most expensive are the only ones available at the end. So I would consider applying to be an RA. And another great opportunity is if your parent has worked in any form, been an employee of any kind at a university, I would suggest not necessarily being a faculty member or anything like that, administrative or anything, but any type of employee, I would suggest checking with the university they work at or the college they work at and ask if they provide free tuition opportunities for the children of their employees. Because if they do, you can go to school. If you get into that school, you can go for free. And if you do, great, and do that and try your best to get into that school, because free tuition is so much. You can figure out how to pay for housing if you have to, or transportation, but tuition is the most expensive part of going to college. Anyways, I hope you liked this video and the information I provided is helpful to you. And remember to like and subscribe so I can create more videos for this channel. And remember, if you want to live your best life, always keep it real. Bye!